So often in our lives we feel sorry for ourselves, pity ourselves, and bemoan what has fallen to us in any kind of trial or tribulation. Life is not something we skip through without difficulties. Life is full of difficulties. But before we begin to feel so sorry for ourselves at the start of this Holy Week, let us just stop for a moment to consider Christ. Christ, who was totally innocent. Christ, who was falsely accused. Christ, who was falsely condemned to death. Christ, who was scourged, crowned with thorns, mocked, spat upon, forced to carry the cross, was crucified on Calvary. And then, after all that suffering, he willingly forgives those who have done these things to him, and when he dies upon the cross, redeems us from our sinfulness. And while we may have crosses and trials in this life, nothing will ever compare to what Christ himself has undergone. And so during this week called Holy Week, we commemorate all the great events of the Lord regarding our salvation, and how fickle the people are, how fickle we are. They cry, Hosanna, and they welcome him in great triumph to Jerusalem, and then they turn around and call for his death. They are the ones responsible for his suffering, for his condemnation, because Pilate was nothing more than a coward who was afraid of the crowds. And so, my brothers and sisters, are we going to be cowards, or are we going to stand up for the Lord and practice our faith with fervor, and to witness to that faith in the face of a society which in many ways is counter to what the Church stands for? If we are willing and want the resurrection, then we must be willing to accept the cross, to walk with Christ to Calvary in every suffering we endure in this life, knowing that he will sustain us, and knowing that once we pass through Calvary, through death, like he has passed, by virtue of our baptism and the fervent living of our faith, we, like that thief on the cross, will see him in paradise. Let us make this week holy. Do something extra this week, especially if your Lenten observances have fallen by the wayside. Rededicate yourselves this week to meditating more on the Passion of Christ. Shut off the television. Put away the video games. Take out the sacred scriptures. Take advantage of what is offered to you this week. Holy Thursday and Good Friday are not days of obligation, but they are the most solemn days leading up to Easter, when the very Eucharist, the very body and blood of Christ was instituted. Come to participate in that institution. And I cannot fathom a Roman Catholic who will not come to church on Good Friday unless sickness or perhaps work may hinder. But there's Stations of the Cross. There's the solemn liturgical celebration. If you can't make those, at least come into the church and think about what Christ has endured for you. And then thinking about it, get down on your knees and be grateful. Grateful for the gift of salvation. Grateful for the gift of the Holy Eucharist. Grateful for the life to come.